thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Coming up tonight, a shocking video showing a group of teenage boys performing sexual acts on another teenage boy leaves many Bahamians shocked. Tonight, we hear from the police and BDOCs. Also, coming up, a man thinks up a scheme to gain access to the Bahama property. Once he's granted access, he finds his ex-girlfriend and stabs her several times. How did this all happen at a five-star resort? And just how safe are Bahamians in their homes? Tonight, a shocking video to share with you. Also tonight, if we can get to it, that University of the Bahamas study citing that a large majority of Bahamians are in a class of working poor. It's no surprise to you, right? Well, it's all straight ahead for you this evening. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's good to have you along this evening. We want to begin by saying the video that you're about to see in just a minute is disturbing and is of a sensitive nature. Now, the video circulated on social media at the weekend and has landed some teenage boys in hot water with the police. The video purportedly shows the young boys physically and what appears to be sexually assaulting the male teenager, just based on what is being said in the video. Now, all of this can be seen on video, as I said, and while the boys were performing the acts of appearing to beat him up, or certainly physically attack him, the teenage boys were heard making inappropriate statements describing what they allegedly intended to do to the young male. In fact, one young man even attempted to, as was seen on the video, go on and actually begin or attempt to begin performing said acts. Now, even though the video has been edited by our newsroom and production staff, it may still be disturbing for some viewers. We showed just a short clip a moment ago. Eyewitness News did speak with Police Press Liaison Officer, Chief Superintendent Chrislyn Skippings on the matter, who says officials have launched an investigation.
We are aware of a video circulating on social media involving a group of young males. I wish to inform that presently none of the individuals involved are in custody. We have some idea of the individuals involved, and we are arduously looking for them and hope to bring closure to this matter very, very soon. I wish to take this opportunity to encourage parents to monitor their children, monitor what they watch, who they hang out with, what they are exposed to, as the content in the video is disturbing and inappropriate.
Monitor what they watch, who they hang out with, because obviously, where did the influence come from? Not that this show supports violence among youth, but where did boys go from saying they're fighting each other to, oh, and I'm going to get you back by also doing something of a sexual nature? Just absolutely unimaginable. Well, we're going to go in depth tonight. Where is the Bahamas headed, and the depraved behavior that's more and more becoming the norm at even younger ages, even children? Welcome to Beyond the Headlines this evening, Dr. Cheyenne Williams of BDOC's Juvenile Crime Unit. Good evening to you, Dr. Williams. It's wonderful to see you. Those boys not only physically attacked another teen, as we were hearing the narrative in the video, right. And you saw the video as well. In fact, we spoke about it at the weekend. But they also, according to what was said and the directions given, and the sort of what one of the teenagers attempted to do, they also attempted to assault him and sexually assault him in a manner. Certainly, of course, then they went on to tape the entire act and share it.
Yes.
How did the Bahamas find itself here?
Shanique, when I saw the video, the only thing that came to mind was, how is it that these young boys are so comfortable? It seemed like they were comfortable doing what they were doing. The way they were laughing and recording, and it made it seem like this was something of the norm. It wasn't nothing out of the ordinary.
Nothing new, I mean, there's every bit of that of what took place and sort of what happened from the moment it started to when it ended.
Right.
It was just shocking to see, you know. And then the other boys following the directive of seemingly the person
who was recording
taping the video.
Right. And that was very scary, because after that, the first thing I said was, it looked like it was night. Where are the parents of these juveniles? Where are the parents? And I frequent the show, Shanique. I frequent speaking engagements as it relates to juveniles. Parents have to be accountable. This is the only way we can start to get to the root of the problems. If the parents are the guardians of these juveniles and they do not know what it is that they're doing, that means they're out there in the streets doing whatever it is that they choose to do. But what's even scarier is the boys didn't look no older than 15, it looked to me like between 13 and 15, 16 maybe years of age. So that told me that these are young men in school amongst other children. So this was what we saw. Imagine what happens.
Based on what was taped, what is it that we're not seeing?
We're not seeing, and that is scary. And then it led me to believe to think more actually, the parents that are raising their children, trying to do right, you know, for a father or a mother to see that happening to their child, how would they react? These things would only breed more criminal activities to me. I don't support these kind of acts, but it would cause a parent to go out in rage. You can imagine that happening to your child you're trying to raise the right way. You understand? So
let's talk about you just out the gate sort of called parents out, and you were obviously trying to suggest this is a parental issue where parents have neglected their responsibilities. Let's just go in there. You work at the Correctional Institute in the juvenile unit,
yes,
where you deal with juvenile criminals on a daily basis.
Right.
What is it that you are seeing where you can with such authority say, Shanique, even that you saw, that assault by teenage boys on another teenage boy, that's just layers right there, layers, just absolute layers. I mean, you all understand sexual assault. And so what do you say about where parents have neglected their responsibility and failed their homes, their children, and society?
Like I always say, Shanique, a 15-year-old, a 16-year-old doesn't wake up at that age, pick up a gun and kill someone. There has to be some type of red flags during the time they came from being a child into adolescent, juvenile, throughout the years. The parents, if they were paying attention, had to see some red flags, and had they intervened, I don't think the problems that we see with the young people would have been so bad. But because we allow these children to run the homes, we allow them to be out about the streets 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night, we do not keep in mind or take note to see what is it that they're watching, who they're hanging out on the street with. We do not take these things into consideration.
How do they run the homes? What do you mean?
Mommy, I coming back. It's 10 o'clock at night. You 14-year-old or 15-year-old. Mommy, I'm coming back. Coming back? Well, if you are a parent and you cannot control your child, the nearest police station you go and you let them know, I cannot control this young boy. He's taking advantage of the home. Or we do have parents that are scared, afraid of their children.
Wow.
We have, listen, I was working at a station one night, and this is during the time I was still in the classroom. I was running at-risk programs in the high school. I was working at a police station that night, and I will never forget, I heard this father in the station complaining to the police at the desk. I'm tired, this boy's not listening, he's out of control, and this thing and the next. When I looked out, and I saw the boy was one of my boys in the program at school. When he saw me, if that police station could have swallowed him up, that would have happened. Physically, you see him start shaking. I had more control over him than his own father.
But how do you sort of justify this and balance this out? A lot of different narratives and agendas are now at play. You see in today's dailies, there is now talk strongly, because there were at least 3 articles that talk about basically how you discipline a child, meaning you don't physically discipline them. Corporal punishment is out, because when you are violent with your child to keep him and her disciplined, then that's a form of abuse. And so they go on to become abusive, angry, hurt, I guess, criminals as adults. This is what is being suggested.
Again, Shanique, everything falls on the parent, the home, how you raise your children, the morals, the principles that you teach them. This is what you will have to go to at the end of the day. You have to. There was a mother that approached me. She was having issues with her son, 17, 18. He was giving her issues. She was having problems. He's getting into criminal activities. And she said to me, she had 5 more children behind him. She said to me, she don't know what to do. So, and she's living in poverty too. So you already have 6 kids. You don't know what to do. At the end of the day, Shanique, what you think will happen to these children if they're not being guided or steered in the right direction? They will fall away to crime. They see people or friends that have these nice things. They want these nice things. They will do whatever they can do or need to do to get these nice things. They don't have documentation, so they cannot.
So many with no status.
Right. So this is now another issue, and she tells me these things, and I'm like, Lord, what it is we have to do, because guess what? That video that we saw is enough. Like it goes beyond explanation. We have to hold these parents accountable. When it reaches the point where your child is before the courts, it's too late. Intervention has to come before.
But then let's just talk about parents for a moment. Let's talk about, are parents too distracted in 2024? Is that what it is?
Shanique, from the feedback that I get from parents, a lot of them, they admit they just had too many children. They cannot afford to take care of their children.
You know, and that is a double-edged sword. We've seen in recent weeks talk of a population decline. Certainly, in order for a country to continue, you need to continue producing. But then there are some people who doggone having just too much children.
Yeah. And they now, some of them, they're admitting it. I'm lost. I do not know what to do. You cannot afford. Poverty breeds crime.
But speaking of poverty, and I don't know if we'll even get there this evening, but you see, in order to even figure you making it in this country, you need to be earning $10,200 a month. Certainly the parents you're talking about aren't earning anywhere near that.
No, ma'am, because a lot of the parents too, they don't have any status.
What is happening in this underbelly of the Bahamas that we saw displayed all over social media this weekend, and with the type of parents, and not that only those kids are committing criminal acts, but certainly is what you are seeing in larger numbers. What's happening in the underbelly that is being ignored and allowed to just fester and fester and fester, that is now just sort of, I don't know, seeping out?
Like I said, Shanique, the children are running the home. When you allow the children to do as they please, they do as they please. They come and go as they please. There is no rules. There is no law. The place is lawless with some juveniles. They run themselves. They go on how they feel. And that is where the issue is. We have to be parents that are accountable. If your child is involved in any kind of criminal activity, any kind of things that they should not be doing, you need to put some measures in place to have them dealt with. You know that a lot of parents know about the criminal acts that their children are involved in, but you think they are man or woman enough to take them to the police station. You have to do these things to show them, I am serious, you are my child, but I am taking you in, because this is the only way they will learn.
And what is to happen with the teen? Not that he's any more innocent or guilty than the others, but what is to happen with him? His face shown as he was being assaulted.
I could surely say, for one, he will need some kind of sessions with a psychologist, psychiatrist. He will need some kind of assistance after that, because that has to affect his mental health. That has to affect it. And especially, that is being shared all around. And this place isn't that big. Somebody knows somebody who knows him. So definitely he will need some counseling. He definitely needs counseling. And I think with that being shared, whoever is arrested for it, they need to be made an example of. You cannot get away with doing things that you must be made an example of, that when you do these type of things, you will suffer the consequences of your actions.
Well, they need to be tried as adults. Let's just start there. You know,
I totally agree.
Our judicial system needs to, I don't know if we have that where minors, based on the nature of their crime, can be tried as an adult, but certainly this is one instance.
Yeah, there's Shanique. I think about it and I'm speechless, because the only thing I can say is, from fighting and ganging to performing sexual acts or encouraging the other members of your gang to perform sexual acts, that's a totally different level.
No, that's a different level.
That's a totally different level.
Unexpected and absolutely, as you said, a different level entirely. Certainly, this discussion, you know, it will obviously pick up from here. But I thank you very much, Dr. Cheyenne Williams from BDOC. She works in the juvenile crime area, working with at-risk youth who find themselves behind bars. I thank you very much this evening for joining us and discussing this issue. I tell you, don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we are going to get some opinions on that, and also talk about the shocking scene at Bahamar today, where a man dressed as a chef, we're told, purporting to be his first day on the job, only to gain access to the property to go and harm his girlfriend or his ex-girlfriend. We're going to pick that story up right after this break. Stay close.
You work hard to provide for and protect the ones you love. However, life can present unexpected challenges. Who you call in times of need matters. Insurance Management is a Bahamian-owned company that has been serving our community for over 40 years, offering a wide range of coverage for all of your personal, professional, and commercial needs. When life happens, rest easy knowing that our skilled and experienced agents are there for you in your time of need, so that you can get back to what matters most. Insurance Management. Nobody does it better.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Call now to get more of the care you need.
Get ready to win Lucky Bucks. Wherever you see this taxi, flag it down. The boy hard, beating so hard, but I will be hard with what there. I'm looking for my first contestant to ride in the Lucky Taxi. You walk in the taxi, you got to do the Lucky Walk, though. Oh, thanks. Man, thank you, sir. 85 times 2 is how much, brother? You only win $170, brother.
I never expected to win as much as I win.
Bang along.
Very excited when the gentleman picked me to ride inside the taxi.
So if I had to choose a game that would stay, it would be Island of Taxi.
You could be next on the Island Lucky Taxi.
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay Eden well.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Well, tonight, crime and its impact on the social fabric, lifestyle, and even overall behavior of regular, everyday citizens. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines, our contributors, Leslie Miller and Ellington Ferguson. Good evening to both of you gentlemen.
Good evening, Shanique. Good evening, Bahamas. It's a pleasure to be here once again.
Let's first, I want to give you gentlemen an opportunity, men, fathers, grandfathers, business owners, leaders, to talk about, just to respond to the teenage boys and the physical and sexual assault that we saw, that we could understand of what was happening in that video at the top that we discussed at the top of tonight's show.
Once again, Shanique, there's something terribly going awry in our community here in the Bahamas, where you can see young children that is exhibiting this type of behavior. I think to start with, the world has begun to open up with the advent of the social networks, and parents has been very quick to put these devices into their children's hands without any control, without any monitoring, and that is where they learn a lot of these things from. Trust me, you go on these phones and stuff just comes up, sometimes stuff that you don't even want. And so that is the beginning of all of this here. When we put these devices in these children's hands, leave them unattended, parents don't check it. I give my little boy a phone, he want a phone for Christmas, he want a phone for his birthday, and we just put it in their hand and just leave them alone. You cannot leave a child with the responsibility of this whole World Wide Web in their hands, okay? We have a social issue in this country, and it continues to grow, it continues to get worse. We must look at how children are being raised in these homes. And sometimes we see these things and we wonder what parents are doing. It's not what they're doing. Sometimes these children see these things. They see them in the home. Sometimes parents are involved in pornography and all these foolishness. You'll be stunned to hear the things that comes from some of the adults' mouth in the homes where these children go. So it begins from there. We have a serious issue. Our homes are sick. Our homes are rotten. And that is where the Minister of National Security talked about us breeding criminals. We've got to look to take the social issues of this country in hand. Yeah. If we don't, we're heading down a dangerous path.
You know, it's really a despicable act. And it falls on all of us as parents, grandparents, that young Bahamian kids could actively participate in such atrocious behavior. Behavior that is unbecoming in any civilized country, much less a country that Bahamas is supposed to be a Christian nation. The question is, Where did this stuff emanate from? What entered the mind of these young kids that this is acceptable? And what is going to happen now that has taken place? Because you know they like to fall each other. If this group would do it, we could do it, and they'll take it to the next level if you allow them to. Someone has to step in the gap and say enough is enough. The schools has an obligation, the church, but more important, the parents are really the greatest
influence if they would step
on
up.
Their kids.
Yeah.
And if they can't stop their kids from doing what we saw, we got a country that's going straight to hell in a breadbasket. Something has to change. We have to get together as parents and as a nation.
I think
take another turn.
We need to look at some things that worked for us before.
Mm-hmm.
And let me go back to a program that Mr. Jeff Lloyd had started. I think we need to start looking at that for youngsters who began to exhibit behavioral issues early on in school, like a boot camp sort of thing where we can take them out of the home, remove them from that environment,
14?
remove them from the general school environment, and put them in boot camp for a while to teach them some life skills, to teach them character and integrity. We have to rescue these young men early, or else the society is going to pay, like we're doing today.
Yeah. But what about the national service that Sir Lyndon talked about from once upon a time? I mean, why is it that has not been picked up and now made a part of a passage of rights?
Well, you know, it was amazing, right? So Lyndon introduced that in 1987, after the general elections. And the first thing the opposition pound on it was that he was creating a little army to protect himself. Another Haiti was on the rise. And it was a good program, but it got scuttled by the opposition claiming.
So there was a start to it?
Yeah, oh yeah, they put a stop to it. A complete stop. And nothing could have been better for our country than to train these young men and women how to be decent human beings.
Life skills.
But it was just taken out of context, and it died. And naturally, and of course, the '92 election came along. The FNM won the election, and the rest is history, because they had no interest in what Lyndon had, an interest in.
I mean, obviously, when you're forming a nation and when you're trying to sort of, I guess, have things morph in the right direction, some sort of oversight is needed. Yeah. And had these kids been giving, like you say, the life skills, the discipline, the training, whatever it's necessary,
character
and what that would have, what that would have been made up out of, that is what is necessary. And now we can see that it's missing at every turn. And I don't know, perhaps as other nations are beginning to do, we perhaps need to do a cleaning out of our own.
Yes,
when it comes to in terms of who here and who ain't supposed to be here.
Yes.
Because the influences are strong, and many of them are wrong.
The foreign influences too.
That is what I mean, Leslie Miller.
The foreign influence.
So we must arrest it. I don't think it's too late for us to try to restart such programs. We have to deal with this issue on multiple levels. We have to try to save those that are coming up behind, and we have to deal with enforcement of law with those that are already involved. I mean, I'm talking about the older guys that are already involved, and we must make sure that men and women see that crime does not pay, that these behavior has consequences, and we will not accept them in our society.
No.
And unless we demonstrate that we will not tolerate these things, they will continue to happen because it's okay. It's the thing to do. These things are not happening in isolation. The doctor talked earlier about these things. How much more have we not seen that is already taking place in our schools? These children ain't just know that.
No.
They're learning it from their peers in school. They're learning it from the device that we as parents put in their hand and leave them by themselves. A child left to himself will bring his parents to open shame.
Very dangerous.
Yeah, again, quite disturbing.
Very dangerous.
We, looking forward to even fleshing that out some more. But gentlemen, here is something that's even more disturbing, because how much is a night stay at Bahamar? We certainly know it's a high-end destination.
$350 starting price.
Starting at $350?
$350, yeah.
Well, imagine you.
This is slow season now.
So imagine in peak season. This is now we're headed to the season. Yeah. We're headed into the peak season, or one of them. But it's a property though that is built for the discerning visitor and somebody who wants a good stay, a high-end stay. Much of the property is a high-end property. There are several high-end properties on that major compound.
Sure, yes.
And so imagine this. Get this out. This here is unbelievable. You'll think this lifetime. Police told the Eyewitness News team just moments before the news that a 34-year-old man is in custody in connection with the stabbing incident that happened at the Bahama Resort earlier today.
Didn't die.
I hope not.
No.
Eyewitness News broke the story on our digital platforms, talking about the fact of what took place. Now, Senior Vice President at Bahama, Robert Sands, confirmed that a female employee at the resort was involved in an incident. Photos went viral online this morning showing what is believed to be a female victim lying on the ground. The image also shows what appears to be another employee attempting to render assistance. Here's what Sands told Eyewitness News.
I can confirm that an incident happened on property this morning. It is now a police matter who have taken control of this particular case. We also extend our sincerest concerns and sympathy to the victim and those affected by this incident.
Any concern that this may have a negative effect with guest safety or anything?
No other comments at this time.
Imagine though how that plays out. It's a resort that is boasting of still, even in the slow season, high occupancy rate, high occupancy levels.
They do.
And which is fantastic. But again, you paying to come to a pricey destination at a pricey resort. This gentleman dresses as a chef. This gentleman fakes this thing out and thinks about it. First of all, we didn't know Bahamians could really be so creative. But here he thinks this up. Dressed as a chef who was reporting for training on his first day on the job, and granted that access. Where did he have an ID? Was it a fake ID? How was he granted access? So he was granted this access, and he found his ex-girlfriend, and he stabbed her.
I think Shanique, Bahama recognizes, or they should recognize, that there was definitely a breach in their security. A new employee coming on the job, his first day, should not have been able to just walk through security and go where he has to go. It should have been you come to the security checkpoint, somebody, either security can tax somebody, or somebody have to come to security to collect you. You're just telling security who don't even know you, this is your first day on the job. No, I think it's a lapse in security, and the cause that could have been not just somebody come to attack another Bahamian who is purported to be his ex-girlfriend. Could have been somebody to come to do a robbery of one of the tourists, or to hurt one of the tourists, God forbid, there. And so this is definitely a lapse in security down there at that wonderful resort.
You know, this goes back to the premise that we always discuss on this show here. A man has to think wrong before he does wrong. This is a classic example. The fellow decided, I'm going to go and do some harm today to her. So he dresses up as a trained chef. The security lapse was unacceptable, and I'm sure that Bahama would have already made the necessary changes to protect their workers and, of course, their guests. But see, these are the type of things that you really have to bring the law down hard on a person like this.
Yep.
You know, who decided in a public forum, in a public hotel, to go and cause grievous harm to an innocent person who goes to work, try to earn a decent living, and here's this, whatever the incident is, to walk on her job, assert himself as someone that he's not, and get on the premises. Now what is supposed to happen if he's going to go on bail for what, $2,000?
I know why you call it grievous harm. I mean, you go with a knife and you stab.
That's attempted murder.
That's attempted murder.
That's attempted murder. And we hope that this lady, we don't know her condition.
That she lived,
but absolutely.
I think when you do grievous harm, a knife enters somebody. Okay. I mean, no, I don't agree with that.
You don't know what internal organs could be.
Exactly.
I'm destroyed.
Yeah.
Listen, gentlemen, again, you know, we have got to get real serious.
All that you could get, you know.
We have got to get really serious because, again, here it is, right on the front door of the tourism product. The Bahamas once again is just showing off its worst parts, its hind parts to the tourism industry in the international world. Again, this is the bread and butter. You talk about trying to make up to that $10,000 plus just to be able to be comfortable in the Bahamas. Well, when you attack the tourism product like that, see, that goes beyond, that goes further than even just attacking
You're attacking the whole country.
You have attacked the tourism product.
Yes.
And so to attack the tourism product the way it was,
Absolutely.
by doing such a heinous crime, such a grievous harm, and to this woman, it really, again, you all, as you all said, we just wait and see.
There will be travel advisory, trust me.
Wow, just
probably going to get on bail for $2,000, I suspect. One got for murder. I saw in the news in the papers today.
18 years, yeah.
No, one got $20,000 bail for attempted murder.
You're on the Headlines is back right after this. Stay close.
What you doing? What you doing? Where you at? Where you at? We got a code. Got a code that you can crack. With Island Luck. Island Luck. You can win. You can win $1 million. 7 digits. 0 to 9. 0 to 9. You could redeem your promo points online. You should be guessing and not stressing. Could be $1 million in your possession. Don't need to question what's happening. We just made up some games to try to get you some money that'll make it alright. So if you wanna change your life, crack the code and stop joking. Crack the code and stop joking. Crack the code and stop joking, y'all. Crack the code and stop joking. Joking. If you guess the numbers right, no more stressing. We'll be balling tonight, baby. We can make your dreams come true. Play Crack the Code today. Win $1 million only on Island Luck.
Tired of driving around from place to place just to get your car insured and licensed? Frustrated with the process of being back and forth from your insurance company to road traffic? Well, BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers just made insuring and licensing your motor vehicle as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1. Visit us at the Road Traffic Department, Section 1, Thomas A. Robinson Sports Stadium. At our office, you can purchase or renew your insurance or get your vehicle inspected. We at BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers represent major carriers. Step 2. See the professionals at Road Traffic to get your vehicle licensed. Step 3. Enjoy your day. Insure with BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers today, saving you time and money. Your one-stop shop for all of your insurance needs. Great rates, convenient, excellent service. For more information, call us at 322-2221.
So you want a space. But not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience, with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. As we continue our in-depth look at crime and how it's impacting this nation, you know there was a homicide on Sunday morning. Sunday morning. I know someone called me and said, well, Jesus, it's Sunday morning, people in church. You mean to say now this is where it's gotten in the Bahamas? The fact that Sunday morning, where people used to have at least some sort of reverence for the day of the Lord, this is what's taking place in the Bahamas. That happened east of the Coral Harbor roundabout. Well, take a look at this video. It was sent to be on the headlines. The video shows a man scoping out a house early in the morning. Now, you will see, there's the man. It happened last week and again this morning. Residents say 2 mornings now, this young man has walked on the side of the home and appearing to try to gain access to the house. Now, Leslie and Ellington, these people are hard-working people. They are doing everything by the books and trying to gain access to that middle-class figure that you see the University of the Bahamas talk about and try to make a contribution to society. Let's first talk about the vexing and troubling state that citizens are finding, even in their homes, of having to look over their shoulders.
Well, Shanique, it is a sad situation to see a young, strong, healthy young man moving around. I mean, rather than finding something constructive to do, you trying to get into people can't feel safe in the confines of their home after they would have gone to work or put in a hard day's work, now come home. They've got to be concerned about someone trying to get into their house. And once you know, a thief is no telling what they will do when they get into the house. A thief will try to kill, to whatever they got to do to get what they want and to get away without being caught. And so this is very, very vexing. We've got to find some way to arrest these vexing issues, because God forbid the owners of that house have to do something and he lost his life, then they got all kind of issues on their hands and all of this. And
that's the foolishness in this country. The fact is, who are the laws here to actually serve?
Just to protect, exactly.
Who are the laws to serve? Because you're right, if they have to take matters into their own hands, then what?
For their own life.
You end up for their own life, you end up tied up in the legal system.
You know, we can only assume that this young person was probably living in the neighborhood and probably using drugs from time to time and was really not coherent in what they were doing mentally. Because who would continue to go around the same house night after night? It has to be someone that has a problem. You know, it's amazing how many youngsters now you see on the streets with these problems from drugs. You know, and older persons too. You know, this is a situation that needs to be arrested. I mean, you know, you can't blame the police or anyone for a problem that someone has with drugs, because it has ruined our society. We had started in the 80s, and we still have the semblance and the remnants of it for the last 30, 40 years now. Some young men never get off of drugs. Never. One hit and you're gone. The rest of your life is finished. It implodes in front of your face, and you're no more. You're no good to yourself. Get your family, you shame your family, you shame your friends. And after a while, people get tired and they just leave you alone.
Well, listen, I'll tell families this
they
though.
simply leave you
Keep
alone, the
your
family.
problem
exactly
in your own house. Don't let that spill over to the neighborhood or to the wider society. Don't.
Because I tell
the
you,
life in the Bahamas is enough to try get through than to have to try think about an idiot.
Not only that
walking
video,
around.
I've seen other videos circulating on social media. I've seen one where the lady heard this guy outside, literally trying to take a gas tank and put it in the car.
Oh, that's enormous.
It's only after she starts screaming, help somebody, call the police, call the police. He's struggling to get it, and apparently the tank was filled, and he ended up leaving it. And so people have to live these things. Single parents, people, and we talk about the cost of living.
It's unfair.
People struggling to make ends meet, and you stealing from these very same people.
That's the thing. You're stealing from the very same people who live around you, who
very
trying
frustrating.
every day, going to some kind of
Absolutely.
job and trying to put their time in to get paid. And here you're lazy. Listen.
Exactly, yes, that.
What is so wrong? These young, able-bodied men, they don't go looking for jobs, you know. This is why the foreigners who live among us have all the jobs, you know. I mean, in the last 3 years, I've had no young Bahamian man come to me and ask me for a job. Not a single one in 3 years. They come asking for $10 or $20.
They want that kind of money.
But they don't want a job. Whereas our brothers from down south, they come looking for a job doing a living. That's why I say again, I don't think the government and people of this country realize how important it is to have this trade school incorporated to enable these young kids to find their way. You can make every excuse in the book. A man with nothing is a dangerous man. Doesn't have a future, he can't see tomorrow. But if you provide him with the tools to earn a living, you're going to change his life forever. And you're going to change the country's future forever by giving him a new pathway to success, that he can appreciate what middle-class Bahamians have and the struggle that we go through to make ends meet. He would have that desire in him to be somebody. This for young men and women. We have to do something that is unordinary to make a change, definitive, positive change in our country. If not, every government's going to take the same route. And every 5 years, you got a new government coming in. You do the same damn thing over and over again, and you wonder, why did they send me home? Change must take place, definitive, positive changes.
Well, it has to be, and you have to reach these people because I'll tell you, it is vexing.
For Christ's sake,
you talk about the criminal mind and these dumb idiots who are under-inspiring vexed because they can't earn a living. Imagine the person who's working hard every day and underpaid, and like it's that vicious cycle, that gotta break. You all go there and try make something happen, and we've got to make hard work attractive again.
Absolutely.
I don't know where that fell off. I don't know what happened and who whispered in somebody here and say, but listen, heartbreak and sexy, you know, that ain't what you do. I don't know who did that. But listen, I'll tell you, this went viral today. I want to play this because people are applauding this commissioner of police from the U.S. Virgin Islands. Take a listen at him and how he addressed criminals.
But let me say this to you, the criminals, those idiots, those clowns, better yet, those cowards. That's what you are. You are cowards. Because you're putting on a mask, you're going into these neighborhoods, you're gunning people down and you're speeding out of the area, running from the very same police. But we ain't running from you. I want you to know that. If you are so big and bad, if you're a man stands on his own 2 feet when he commits an action and he faces the consequences. Stop running. Stop putting on masks and running. Be a man and face us when we come out there looking for you. The gloves are off. The officers have 100% support from me to go out there and do what they have to do. Ladies and gentlemen of the community, you no longer have to live in fear. This nonsense has to stop. We need to stop. As a community, we need to come together. Like Captain Colburn and the Chief just said, we are asking you for information, but those of you who are there committing these crimes, don't run. Don't run. If you are so big and bad to be doing the things that you're doing, stop running behind, hiding behind masks, and running when you hear the police coming. Stand up and meet us. Since you're so bad, it's time this nonsense end, and we intend to end it.
You heard, go ahead.
People had enough. I mean, our neighbors to the south experience, because like we alluded to earlier, the social media, the advent of social media and all these things, our children learning from around the world. People are tired. People are fed up. And I love what that commissioner of police is putting forth. Yeah. And he's telling my guys are coming and they're going to do what they have to do. Yeah. And that is what we need to empower our police to do. And that's why I normally come down hard when we find police doing foolishness, because good thinking, ordinary law-abiding citizens need the police out there to protect and to serve us. Yes. We need to feel confident that they're going to go out there. And we need our policemen to be strong, like we hear coming from that. Yes. Okay? We need to say enough is enough to the criminal element of this country. We will not tolerate you destroying this country for all of us.
Yeah. And there's only a few bad apples, you know.
That's it.
Not that many people do wrong, you know.
That's it.
We just got to weed them out once and for all and get ourselves back together for the good nation that God gave us called the Bahamas.
And empower the police, who largely are law-abiding citizens of their own force and the laws of this nation. Empower them to step up like that and stand on business.
Absolutely.
Listen, addressing crime isn't only there in U.S. Virgin Islands or here in the Bahamas. This video has been going viral now for a few weeks. And we've talked and addressed it about the fact that crime was crazy in El Salvador.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the president there, who gave a beautiful interview recently, and he talked about his faith, marrying his faith and the decisions that he makes and standing on that. But here's some steps he took.
This is pretty crazy. Apparently, the actual president of El Salvador posted this video last night, saying that police intelligence has determined that a group of gang members are hiding in the 10 neighborhood in San Marcos, San Salvador. Today, in the early hours of the morning, we've established a security fence throughout the colony with 2,000 soldiers and 500 policemen to extract every last gang member found in the area. I'm telling you right now, like, El Salvador doesn't mess around when it comes to enforcing the laws because they've had such a serious issue with gang violence, and they're just like, we're not playing this game anymore. We're done. We're done doing this. We're gonna extract this at the root.
Addressing it at the root. You all, this is the same country where that president, he ain't trying to put air condition and make it a beautiful smelling of roses. What that man did, those gang members, he had them, he has cleaned the streets, and you see the steps he's taken.
Crime.
Wow,
Absolutely.
Ellington, that's powerfully put.
we need to, I know we're trying to be nice, we're trying to be diplomatic, we're trying to be what all these other nice stuff. We're not dealing with nice people. We're not dealing with logical people. Okay, there's an element of our society that we have lost. We must deal with it to safeguard for the rest of us, so the rest of us can have a wonderful country that we can still live in and enjoy a peaceable life. We need to deal with that element. While we fix those that are coming behind, try to work with them, try to save them and snatch them from this ever-revolving door of criminality here in the country. And so we must do what we need to do. We must empower the police to do what they need to do. And let's move on and continue to build a better Bahamas for all of us.
Enough said.
Thank you very much, Leslie. It seems as though you've agreed, and that's it. I'll tell you this. We will on Wednesday, because we're expecting as well the chairman of the Price Control Commission, right? Randy Roll. I know I'm saying it wrong, but in any event, the Consumer Protection Agency, we're expecting him. So we're going to really.
They're doing a pretty good job.
He's been making the waves, and he's been making waves.
Listen to me, and he is so necessary. His ministry and what he is doing is now the most powerful agency in the country, because Bahamian people are saying, listen, how much more are we paying for everything? So Senator Randy Roll will be here on Wednesday. That is scheduled to happen, if not Thursday, but certainly Wednesday. He will be here, and then we will pick up that cost of living, what the study has revealed, and the fact that so many people are severely under what was said is just sort of where Bahamians should be to be considered middle class. And I understand we were discussing it in the newsroom, and many people are insulted to be referred to as poor. How are you insulted? Because when you go into the store, aren't you chafing? When you go to the food store at the cash register, aren't you saying ouch? Like, aren't you saying, hold on, wait, what the dickens? Would you say how much is the total? And this is what I have? Aren't you saying that? And can you comfortably afford that? And then what you vex about? Yeah, we so prideful, eh? That's us. Listen, but again, now tomorrow, you all have asked for a U.S. election sort of roundup. Well, we will obviously try and work on that for you as well. So look forward to Leslie. Stay focused. Keep your mouth closed. I didn't ask you for commentary right through this part right here. But listen, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow evening. Certainly, of course, thanks to Dr. Cheyenne Williams. Thank you to Leslie Miller and Ellington Ferguson. And all of you this evening, thank you very, very much for tuning in. On behalf of the entire Beyond the Headlines team, I'm Shanique Miller. Make it a great evening, everyone.